What's up, y'all? Goofy Rexy here, and hope everybody is doing well. And welcome, guys, to the weekly headliner update, week number 81. Now, if you're new to the weekly headliner, this is where we discuss what is upcoming this week in Marvel Strike Force, and then we recap the important topics from the previous week as well. Now, this week is a big week because we do have an upcoming patch that we believe is going to probably drop here on Wednesday. A lot to be prepared for in regards to the preview, new characters coming, a new game mode that's coming as well. We're going to go over all of the details, guys, to get you prepared for the patch of this week. We also have the Summer of Thunder event that's going to be ending this week. Well, technically next week, I believe on Sunday here. We're going to talk about where the math leaves us in regards to the milestones. Will you be able to complete all of the milestones in the Summer of Thunder event? We'll discuss that here as well. Also, with us now knowing the Red Hulk is going to be the next War Horseman, we also get the team requirements. We're going to talk about some of the best options that you have available to you here as well, guys. We're going to talk about this and so much more on the weekly headliner update, and we're going to start right now. All right, y'all, welcome back. Like I said, there's a lot of stuff to talk about here on the weekly headliner update. The first thing that we're going to dive into is the update that's going to be coming this week. We're assuming it's going to be on Wednesday, the 27th, based on some information that we can see here from the blog posts and some data mines and stuff that we've seen here before. So, but the first thing, yeah, we got this in-game mail last week on, I think it was on Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken, right? The 20th Wednesday. So yeah, patch being the 27th makes sense. It's literally a week after, but we saw what was previewed here. New Pestilence chapter of the Apocalypse Saga. That's happening. We saw information on that last week in a blog post. 5 new playable characters, which we now know who those are. The new Doom 3 raids, event campaign, most likely that's going to be for one of the new characters. Alliance War updates, which we know is not going to be that boost, are going to give minor deflects as opposed to just the flex. Store updates, which you saw in the blog post a little bit as well from last week. And then, of course, the and more. We're going to have to stay tuned to see that information on Wednesday when that patch does go live. But the first thing is the Pestilence Scourge event is going to come back, right? So in order for the saga to go live, we need the second run of the Pestilence Scourge event to first happen. So that's going to be kicking off here on the 27th, which I'm not going to lie to you, a little abrupt, a little quick for that to roll back around here. And the reason why I'm saying that is, yes, I think we all kind of knew what was going to happen based on us seeing the information on the sagas, but I would have thought that we would have had a little bit more time. Also, an opportunity for some players to be able to get some more shards, right? Because let's be real, there's a lot of players that didn't get, or just not even just talk about a lot of players. A lot of the characters aren't farmable. Scarlet Spider's not farmable. Spider-Punk, yeah, I mean, if you want to call the arena orbs farmable, sure. I don't consider that. But Morbius is not farmable. Neither is Dr. Voodoo. Yes, he's in the strike pass, but there's a lot of these characters that are not farmable. Ghost Spider, I guess you can get her from the raid or from the raid milestones, but these characters aren't farmable. So I would have liked to have seen them be a little bit more conscious of that, because now you're kind of running this event. A lot of players who weren't able to participate before may still not be able to participate, or who were not able to do well probably still won't be able to do well because you do not have the character shard. So that is a little bit unfortunate in my personal opinion. I wish that they would have actually thought about that before they decided to bring this back around. But either way, it is happening. So I guess I'll look forward to getting a 7-star Morgan Le Fay now that is coming back around. But I do feel bad. My heart is out to you guys who probably won't be able to participate or do well because the character shards just aren't available. But you will need those Web Warriors. You will need those Dark Hunters, right? For the higher difficulties, Note 5, difficulty 5 plus on Note 5 and 10. You definitely will want to have those teams ready. Important information: characters who already got 7 stars are not going to be able to contribute to the main milestone and affect your leaderboard ranking. If you are one of those players that did not get 7 stars, they're going to have a separate leaderboard, so that's important. This is also important too because someone asked me a question about this. As this is the second run of the event, the first time run rewards will not be present. So someone had asked me, hey, like, I didn't participate in the first Scourge event, will I be able to get the first run rewards? I did ask the question. The answer on that is a no, because the first run rewards or first time run rewards are based on the first time that the event went live, not when the player does the event, which I guess I understand, but I wish that they would have probably extended their hand a little bit on that one, just mainly because, right, I mean, it would just be helpful. They were nice rewards. I get it, but also just were nice rewards. But this is gonna happen here. This event is gonna be 5 days. So the last time the event ran for like 14 days, felt like a whole month. But it's only going to be 5 days because it's the second time that the event is rolling back around here. After this run, the saga for Morgan Le Fay's Pestilence, the Pestilence saga is going to show up. Remember that these sagas are going to be permanent in the game, so you're going to be able to attempt the sagas at any point in time after the Scourge event has ended. There's going to be new abilities and rewards that you can get from it, but requirements though, you will need Morgan Le Fay and the entire Darkhold team in order for you to be able to attempt the saga. And these sagas are going to be important in terms of being able to complete them, because the rewards that you're going to be able to get from it are the awakened abilities, which boost the abilities of the legendary horseman characters, the horseman costume. So far, I do not like Morgan Le Fay's. Separate, that's a personal thing. Maybe you like it. I don't want to yuck anybody's yum. I'm just saying that personally, me, I'm not feeling the Wolverine horns on top of her head. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, you're gonna be able to get those rewards, and then of course also ISO Blue 85, which is gonna be new as well, coming to MSF. So yeah, I mean, some interesting things going on here. Keeping in mind that in order for you to be able to unlock Apocalypse, you will need to do all the sagas. You need to complete difficulty 2 for all the sagas for Pestilence, Scourge, Pestilence, Famine, War, Death. You will need to complete all of those at least at difficulty 2 first in order to be able to unlock Apocalypse, or to attempt difficulty 2 in the Apocalypse saga when that rolls around. And then for Apocalypse saga specifically, for difficulty 2, you will need to have your characters, all of your legendary horsemen and your legendary horseman teams at gear tier 16, ISO Blue 4, in order to be able to get him. So just keep that in mind as well as we sort of move forward here. But that's pretty much it in regards to the Pestilence Scourge event. The next thing I wanted to talk about here are these 5 new characters, right? So the 5 new characters, we know who they are already. We know that Deathlock and Vision, Hulkbuster, and the reworks here to Vision and Iron Man are going to be a part of this new Bionic Avengers team, which is crazy good, right? I'm thinking that most likely Deathlock, or maybe it's Viv Vision. Maybe Viv Vision might be the month-long character. It could also be Deathlock as well. It's kind of hard to predict this because we had Spider-Woman, who was the first character released in that patch, and she was the month-long character. But then at the end of the patch, we had Dazzler, right, who was then the month-long character. So I don't know. It's hard for me to predict these things. And then we had Mighty Thor, which was the second character in that patch. So I don't know. Probably going to be Deathlock or Viv Vision. Most likely is going to be the team, or going to be the characters that's probably going to be for the month-long event here. Deathlock though will be the first release character. Usually the character that shows up on the silhouette first is usually the character. Well, I'm predicting, right? I'm predicting that Deathlock is most likely going to be the first character that's going to get released, just based on how the silhouettes usually kind of pan out here. But yeah, is this a must-build team? Yeah, absolutely, right? You're going to need this team for the Death Scourge event, which we don't know who the Death Horseman is as of yet, but we do know, of course, that the Death Scourge event that they've announced that this Bionic Avenger team is going to be a team that you're going to need. But more importantly, though, I think this team is going to be essential for your Doom 3 raids, right? Mainly that's the reason why I'm going to be building up this team. And Doom 3 raids are important for multiple reasons. Number one, gear tier 17, you're going to be able to get those pieces here from the Doom 3 raids. There's going to be this new teal elite raid orb that you're going to be able to get from doing these Doom 3 raids. Doom 3 raids is going to be going live here this patch, right? So something that we're going to want to pay attention to. I assume as well that ISO Blue level 4 is going to be available in these Doom 3 raids as well, just based on the fact that there is a requirement for ISO Blue 4 in some of the difficulty sections of these Doom 3 raids. So this team is definitely a must build. I think that where I'm standing right now is that, like, you're probably going to need to get all your Doom 3 teams to gear tier 16. We'll talk about that in a separate video here in order for you to be able to get the much needed resources. Raids have become so much more valuable and important than even Arena, in my opinion. Yes, Arena is important, but man, these raids are so vital to your roster growth. It's incredibly important, right, to be able to do these raids and do them effectively. But yeah, I mean, you're gonna need that teal gear from there. The ISO Blue 4, I'm assuming is gonna be from there as well. They did give a list of information in regards to some of like the difficulties and where it may stand. They talked about some of the requirements. The minimum requirements to battle in nodes include ISO 8 Blue level 3, with the highest difficulty requiring level 4, which you talked about just now. It is also recommended that characters be at level 90 and 5+ red stars for higher difficulties. That's pretty interesting because the 5 red stars is so very hard to control that, right? Especially if you're going for new orb openings. You're most likely gonna have to save your elite raid credits and elite your gold promos, your elite promos, in order to be able to get those red stars on those characters. But they mentioned some of the rewards here. The teal elite orb, which is going to be new. That's where you're going to be able to get some of the mini uniques from those orbs. And then they also mentioned another way to get G17 gear is going to be through Cosmic Crucible. That was talked about in a separate blog as well. But yeah, I think raid teams are going to be incredibly important for this. You're going to have to build them, right? I think Bio's all set. We got Web Warriors, we got New Warriors, Eternals, or maybe even like a full Darkhold team, right? For the Mystic section, you have your Secret Avengers, Kestrel, and Shang-Chi for your skill. Only probably Axemen, right? Are probably the only team where you're like, I'm not sure where that team sits right now in regards to Doom raids, but maybe they'll do better in Doom 3, and who knows, like maybe Secret Avengers Kestrel may not do well in Doom 3. It's always one of the other. There's always like a team that didn't do well in the previous raid that now does really well in the second raid, and then so it kind of goes on and so forth. So we'll see what typically tends to happen. But most likely we're probably going to be getting a death raid team, right? The Death Horseman is probably going to be a raid character or a raid team, because we've already gotten an arena one. We're going to be getting a war one now. We've gotten Cosmic Crucible. I'm assuming that the fourth one here is probably going to be raids if I'm thinking about it the right way. But the next team here, we know the next characters are Abomination, and then we know that this is a meta Brawn, because that's a new name now for Metas Cho and Marvel. But we got this information here, and let's pan back up to the Gamma. It's not Gamma. Let's pan back up to the Gamma team here. So the Gamma team was introduced in this blog post. So some information that we do know, right? Red Hulk is going to be the next legendary horseman. We're not going to be getting a Red Hulk though until patch 6.4. So we're only going to be getting two new characters, Brawn, and then Abomination. And then we know that we're going to be getting two reworks, right, to Hulk and then to She-Hulk. By the way, if you haven't seen the trailer for She-Hulk, check that out. Pretty good trailer there. But this is going to be a war team is what it looks like based on some of the kit information that was listed out here. Looks like they're going to be good on both war offense and also war defense. Of course, we're going to have to see what the rest of the kit here looks like for She-Hulk, for Hulk, for Red Hulk, in order for us to be able to make a decision as to how good they are going to be. But that's something going to be happening. Those are two of the new characters that are going to be coming here. The only concern that I really have for this Gamma team, man, is gamma radiation, right? So if we look at some of the other characters that we have on our roster right now, let's say some characters that we're going to be building out, right? So let me filter out my roster by tech. I'll just talk about it. Vision, Iron Man, they're gamma radiation. We know that. Hulk, who's getting a rework, is gamma radiation. Guarantee you that maybe one or two of these characters on the War Horseman team is probably going to be gamma radiation, and we don't know what Deathlock, Fifth Vision, or Hulkbuster are going to look like yet in regards to their hero unique. So that is my biggest concern right now. I think though, in regards to the Gamma team, you can kind of slow build this team, right? Wait for patch 6.4. build out your team or put efforts into trying to get Red Hulk by building out some of your building out the teams that you need for it, and of course making sure that you're boosting your raid teams. Speaking of the teams that you will need for the War Horseman, right, which is Red Hulk, they gave us the requirements here: Ravager and Wave 1 Avenger. Now this one is a little dicey for me. Ravagers, yeah, they're Star-Lord T'Challa, and then maybe you can probably get away with maybe Yondu, but I think Stitcher is kind of off the list for me. I think any of the other characters are off the list for me. Stitcher is a gamma radiation. I don't want to build him for that. But Wave 1 Avengers is interesting, right? At first I was like, bro, Wave 1 Avengers. And then I realized, hey, Hulk is actually getting a rework. You're going to have to build these legendary horseman teams and characters to be pretty big, anyways. Iron Man also still has the Wave 1 Avenger tag, so therefore you're going to be able to use him as well there. So I think the best options though probably are still going to be a full hero Asgardian team, just because of the synergy there. I think you're going to want to take advantage of that, but I do think that there is some help that Iron Man can help with, right, in regards to extending the negative effects, just the outright damage. So I think that there's some benefit that you can get there in Hulk. We'll have to see what the kit looks like, right, before we kind of make the decision as to how helpful Hulk is actually going to be for this team. So there's some interesting thoughts there where that is concerned. Other things we know about the event campaign, we talked about that. That's most likely going to be for either Deathlock or Vision. The Alliance War updates, we talked about that already. Boost given minor deflex now instead of actually a deflex. Store updates, I was hoping that we would probably get like sliders or like an improvement on the orb quantities that we're getting, but I honestly think that the store updates is them adding, because they're going to be adding teal gear to the main store, the main supply store, and then teal gear also to the Cosmic Crucible store. Based on the last blog post, I feel like those are probably the store updates that they were definitely talking about. But that's enough for this patch here, guys. I wanted to kind of segue and talk about some other things. So we do have an event going on right now, which is the Party Paradise event. This is the last sort of big event, main event for the Summer of Thunder event right now. So this is currently active. It is incredibly important to be able to get to milestone, I'm gonna find it, milestone 34, because it does have this boosted piece right here, the Gauntlet of Heroes. And this, like I said, that's the boosted piece that you need. I think that gives you 10,000 points towards the Summer of Thunder milestone. Now, I'm gonna recommend checking out Boylon's video if you haven't done so already. This gives information in regards to how you can kind of, you know, how many cores to spend. I don't think he talked about Blitz in this video, because I do believe that this went live before the Blitz actually went out, but some really good helpful information here, so take advantage of that by looking at this video. What I gleaned from this so far is that if you're spending 400 cores per day, which includes your 200 on your heroic difficulty, and then your 200 for maybe like your campaign energy refreshes, that you'll be able to get alone 77,000 points, which I think he mapped out right here, right? So it's 400 cores a day daily on the Valkyrie event will give you a total of 28 orbs, and then you're also getting points as well for spending. You're getting 5 points per core spent. That will give you a total, well, 56,000 from the orbs, and then the other amount you're getting from just spending the cores. That gives you 77,000 points here, which is enough to clear the 76,500. But there is a there's another sort of I guess caveat, or not caveat, wrong uses of words here. There's another addition to this, right, which is including the Blitz, right? So for your Blitz, if you get all Blitz milestones every single day, which is a total of, I think I may have done the math on this incorrectly, but I believe that this, if you do this 2 days, or if you do this for the duration of the event, you clear all milestones every 2 days for this, that you're gonna get a total of 19 orbs. The 19 orbs will give you enough points to be able to get a total of 115,000 points towards the Party of Paradise event or milestone, which will bring you up to milestone 37. So it'll give you just a little bit more to be able to get some of this teal gear here, but you'll definitely be missing out on 38 through 40, because ultimately they've kind of set it up to where it's an offer, or you have to spend extra cores in order to be able to get more orbs, so that you can open up more of those orbs, because you get 2,000 points per orb. So it's still really going to be an offer, or just really heavy core spending if you want to be able to get through this. So for me, the big picture, right, that I'm looking at here is, what does this mean? Because the Summer of Thunder event is going to be ending on Sunday of next week, and where does that put your roster, right? Where does that put you? So me personally right now, I am at 85,760 points, right? There's still some Mjolnir fragments to collect here. I still have the Gauntlet of Heroes to collect. I'm probably going to end up, after the Party of Paradise event, maybe being at about 9. Maybe I'll probably end up being somewhere. I'll probably be clear milestone 40, right? But I probably won't be able to get to milestone 41. Now, there is one more quick Rumble Blitz that's coming around the corner, so that's going to be happening. I assume that there's also going to be the additional there's going to be some more $1 power core offers, which right now there's a 1 power core offer right now on the store. So do take advantage of that if you haven't done so already. But it still looks like I'm probably going to end up being maybe 2K short, 2 to 3K short, right, of this event to be able to complete it. And I'm looking at it and I'm saying, well, the last event for Space Viking had 2,000 Mjolnir fragments that I couldn't get to unless I was willing to spend. So for me, that kind of feels bad. I get that some of these events, they want to be able to get some money from it and want players to be able to spend it. But it does feel bad that we weren't given that information before, so that we can kind of plan this stuff out. Those 2,000, I've never seen them in any of these events so far gate Mjolnir fragments, or gate the fragments that you needed in order to actually complete an event. I've never seen them do that before, and this to me was a little greasy and kind of grimy, if you ask me, the way that they kind of went about and did this. So I don't know where your big picture is. Where are you gonna land? I'm partially don't really care that much about it, to be honest with you, because I'm gonna get the remaining of these shards. I got a 5-star Thor for basically free. So I mean, listen, I'm kind of chilling where that's concerned, but just out of curiosity as to where you are as well. But I'm gonna wrap up the video here. Obviously the biggest portion of this video was really more so focusing on the patch. We talked a little bit about the Red Hulk, War Horseman, Scourge characters that you could use here. But where are you guys at? What do you guys want to talk about here? With some more videos coming out over the next couple of days. Obviously we got some patch stuff that we got to talk about here. I want to talk about priority teams in regards to the next patch and what to do here, how I'm going to be building my roster, some recommendations I would make. I'll talk about that video here as we move forward throughout the week. And then maybe we'll probably finally do another updated beginner characters video, because I know it's been a couple of patches since we've done one here, but of course it was not anything to update previously before, but we'll do one probably sometime this week or maybe even next week. But listen, a lot of stuff going on right now. G17 coming, Doom 3 raids coming, a lot of information to process. Don't try to process all that information at once, y'all. Way too much, right? Just process it like slowly over time. You'll get to it. You'll be able to finish some stuff up here. Don't upgrade anything if you're not sure about what to upgrade. You're better off holding on to the resources until you really figure out what it is that you want to do. Remember, guys, do not rush in Marvel Strike Force. Not worth it. You don't need to do that. All right, guys, listen, thank you so much for watching the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Hit the notification bell so that you know when the videos do go live. Check out the links that are down below in the description. Join my Discord. Follow me on Twitch, where I do stream 3 times a week here. Anything else? Amazon coins. That's where you can save up to 20% off of your Marvel Strike Force in-game purchases. All that good stuff that's down below, guys, in the description. Until next time, y'all be blessed. Y'all be safe.